Hello, hello, and welcome. We're in the RGN Pro Series closed qualifier, and we have a matchup here: LGR versus Epsilon. This is a best of three. Epsilon from the Swedes and LGR from the land of Finns. And I have a co-cast here. His name's Max, and we're live in the pistol round for Mirage. How are you doing, Max?
Doing pretty good, how are you?
Doing wonderful here. So going live here, a little abnormal start. I'd say 3 people for the CTs towards that B side, and the Terra's playing a little bit spread out here. One player going down lower, just kind of holding for mid push, looking around here. 7 pushing up, but then Saw actually gets the first engagement on Draken. So this spread out strat isn't working for the best of them.
Seems like it's gonna be a double fake right now. There's 2 people at A getting ready to execute. The bomb is towards B. So it should be interesting to see. Honest, I don't know. Right now the bomb is going back T spawn, so maybe that guy is gonna suicide at B and then they're gonna re-hit A. But only one guy that would and could actually work pretty well.
Yeah, probably looked like that was the original plan, but then with that guy going down, looks like the game plan is gonna be switched up. CTs are playing it pretty safe here. They're keeping the normal players around, 2 at B, 1 mid, 1 at A. So the smoke's going over, the rotate's coming in, and Saw picks up another one, but gets traded out by Doplin. So here we go. We have Rez flanking around at middle. Here's Zori shooting around, trying to find a head. Can't find him, but the bomb's going down. Zelos getting it down. Doplin giving him some cover. They have CT spawn covered, and it's going to trade out 1-to-1. 3-on-2 here, and Rez still doing work in mid. Does a 180, gets 2, and now it's a 1-on-1. Sag is very low here. He has 8 HP, but the bomb's not technically planted for him, so he could. Ooh, it gets a headshot, and that's a really well done round there by the Finns. I liked how they stayed back a little bit there. They just kind of poked. They used the advantage of the range with the USP, and then didn't really give Epsilon anything to work with. It was a lot of just very favorable fights for the CT pistol. What do you think?
Exactly, they put a really good retake setup at A, but what I felt like Epsilon actually managed to bring that really close. Like they started with almost 2 men down, so it was basically a 3v5 when executed on the A bomb site. They actually made it a 1v1 with Sigurdsson having actually 8 HP. He just landed a really sick shot on the guy connector, but it's nonetheless good round by LGR, and it should be interesting to see how Epsilon's going to answer that.
And they answer it well. Draken here. They did get a lot of kills, and looks like they just, focused all their money on dropping 2 rifles for Draken and Freddy, and it's already paid off. They start off with kill. Doplin, one of the players who dropped one of the rifles, gets a D kill. So they're playing it smart here. I like just the equipment selection here. Lots of guns that they can just get insta kills with, so that they don't have armor, so it's kind of hard to roll around with Tech 9s. But AKs, Deagles, you can kind of have the same playstyle here. So they're going into the A site, converging from mid, and it's just really hard for the CTs to deal with that. But Sag's doing the best he can. Sigurdsson, throwing a molly down, getting the 2 kills, rotating out, but he's really smart. Gets that player that's trying to flank from window room, so it's down to a 1-on-1. I would have liked to see them stay together here, and actually how it played out, Rez and Disco were the only players who didn't have armor. So the so to speak raid boss is kind of how you describe them. Going down, Sigurdsson playing it smart, just falling back. You don't need to really honor the bomb plants at this point. You just want to go for the win, because with 14 HP you can't really do any plays like that. So Rez gonna pick up the bomb, playing the mind games, gonna let the clock tick out, get Sigurdsson to sweat a little bit, and Sigurdsson already thinking it's not an A, or at least trying to clear something. And he sees that there's no one cat. He's actually got advantage from A, but it's covered from the bomb site. He's actually out of earshot from it, so he doesn't exactly know if it's which bomb site. And now he sees that there's no real action there, and it's gonna give him the cue to go over to the other bomb site. Coming through the connector, looking around the site, seeing if there's anyone at ramp, anyone at firebox. No one in sight. It's Rez in CT spawn. He's playing the footsteps well. He's gonna try to hide, but I think he might have spotted him. I didn't see that. Oh, and I think he did. Or just is the most insanely smart player in the world.
He just got a little glance of the T and actually killed him there. I felt like it was a really good round by Epsilon. That force bar with 2 AKs, 3 Deagle is an extremely smart thing. Oh, and that was a really close defuse.
Oh my goodness, that was close. But yeah, continue with your thought.
But at the end, it was a 1v3, and I feel like it was really sloppy on Epsilon side. Like you said, they should have just stuck together and tried to get a trade kill on Sigerton. He actually got really low HP. It would have been an easy trade, but instead they tried to play 1-by-1. They actually lost that round. It's really unfortunate for them. Right now, the money is not looking that great. They're forced buying again because they know that LGR is pretty low on money.
Yeah, exactly. So going into this next round, and it looks like just total Swede style, they're going to keep buying up because, you know, the money pressure is up there. There's not only one player surviving that last round, so they're going to try to force it again. Disco moving up after he got the cue from his buddy that they're pushed up A halls, but Twista has rotated, is expecting him maybe at Tetris and punishes him. Really smart play there by LGR, just really good rotate. What do you think?
It's really good. I just don't understand what Epsilon was trying to do over there. It feels like they just committed suicide at A, and then right now there's two people trying to work towards B and one guy working towards mid cat. I just don't understand why they did all that stuff towards A and didn't do anything at B because they didn't move any rotate yet.
Yeah, it's kind of just the caveat of Swedish Counter-Strike is a lot of just one-on-one play, try to outskill them. We see it with Fnatic, we see it with NIP from back in the day before they got really strategic. So Epsilon kind of just carrying the torch in that sense, and it's kind of, you know, evened out a little bit here. It's a 2-on-3. Rez is giving him cover, and man, that is such a risky plant to do because they could have just jumped out that window. But LGR seems like they've been playing passive and trying for the smart CS the whole time, so probably just knowing the enemy a little bit there. So good positioning by the T's, and oh, Rez just clips the head off of Saw. So 7 trying his best. Twista's flanking, and here's the footstep. Oh my god, gets it again, and Twista, gets that double MP9 kill. Just really a good job there by Rez, almost you know, doing as much as he could. I honestly think that if he wasn't so frag hungry in that situation and he would have just kind of watched what he was supposed to, with, like, you know, he's positioned by Van to look at upper B the whole time, and he has a teammate in sight that can kind of deal with the, you know, be the point of entry, so to speak, with the guys coming out from the marketplace, that it probably could have ended up in an Epsilon win. But they still get the bomb down, and it's continuing to buy up. What's your thoughts?
I don't know really what Epsilon's doing right now. I feel like they should be actually doing an entire eco, try to get with good utilities and ops and stuff on the T side. Instead, they just keep buying and buying because they probably think that LGR money is really bad right now.
Yeah,
it's actually the case.
Yeah, I think that they are on top of the money game here. So, you know, they're going to continue putting the pressure on, and it's tough, man. The CTs now have reached that point where now that there's an op in play, which kind of nullifies, you know, the effectiveness of the short mid-range guns like Tech 9s and umps, which we see 2 of them on play here. So we'll see if maybe the CT opper can take advantage of those types of fights. But let's kind of take a look at the positioning on this, since we kind of got into this round a little bit late. Since I'm bad at throwing the mic over a little bit because I'm very rusty at casting at the moment. It's going to be a mid-split, and they worked their way from underpass and did a good job of isolating those players at Connector and Cat. But LGR comes out and evens it up 3-3. And a lot of focus on the CTs on the A bomb site. Actually, B is open and the bomb has gotten down, and they have teammates rotating in, and even the bomb planner got away, getting into the bench area. So he's going to be able to kind of just set up and listen for his teammates. Freddy B is watching that flank, but no one coming that way. All 3 CTs are in the same spot. Draken just trying to look for something. We hear that ump coming in. Doppelin getting a kill. Saw with an awesome angle to see right above it. That's pretty cool. You don't see that very often for me. And Draken gets that trade kill. 2-on-1. Zori looking for it. Finds the USB kill and actually jumped out of the window. I don't know if he heard that. And since it's the op, he's going to just opt to run away, and Freddy is going to do the exact same. So now the terrorists finally get that mark on the board, and this is going to be a big round for the CTs to make sure that their money doesn't get broken.
That round there by Epsilon was really good. They actually did a really nice fake at A with those 2 guys on the pass going connector, and while that was happening, all those B guys rotated because they're like, oh, it's an A split. But instead, those A guys that threw the smoke from A main decided to go all the way back to B, and they got into a B bomb site entirely empty, planted the bomb, had good post plant, and just won that round. Right now, LGR has to save, but they actually forced about Ops and Famous again with Deagle. So I mean, it seems like it's going back and forth between these 2 teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of see it a lot. Ooh, that was actually a nice wallbang. Draken walled that player through the window room, and now they're converging on mid. Twista gets that kill, but Rez is there to cover. And looking for more. Zelos emerging from underpass, gets taken out by 7. That's a big kill for them. 3-on-3. Saw trying to do what he can, but Doplin just able to overwhelm him. No rotate for him since that player window room was pinned down. So Zori, the player with the AWP from the last round, looking around at mid, actually doesn't see Rez, and Rez got a good shot at him, but wasn't able to capitalize. Gets a follow-up on the player connector, and now he knows exactly where both players are. Bomb's been planted, so he's going to assume that guy's in the site. Rez is mid, so he's possibly going to go T-spawn or, stay mid. At least that's from Zori's POV. So he's going to go up the stairs. The player hiding in the site box and gets flanked from Rez, that player for mid, making the right decision, it seems like, to go all the way through T-spawn. And now Epsilon just finding a way to get the duels and winning them. What do you think?
That was a good round by Epsilon there. I kind of feel it was a little bit sloppy on their part, kind of like what happened with LGR. It's almost a full eco. Obviously, they have an op and a famous, but still, your full stuff. You have 4 AKs, 1 op. It should be like an easier round for you guys, especially since the upper was on Cat and not at A. And I feel like this Epsilon actually lost too many people. Got a little bit frag hungry to try to get those frags, and actually died to 5-7s twice. I kind of got closer than what I was expecting, but right now LGR money is really bad. Epsilon is probably going to be able to pick up that round, and the next round, so the 7th round, is going to be really crucial.
Absolutely. So CT's money is broken. There's a pause going on here. Yeah, that last round was just a little. They tried going for that mid push with all the people saving, and then kind of covering that up with having the op play B or Cat. So didn't work out that well. They got some decent trades, but the T's were just very well placed and rotated well for what happened. And looks like they're gonna make a good decision here. I think they're super on top of what the money is for LGR, so they're opting to group up where normally we saw them kind of split up here. And Zealous is gonna be the lone wolf going middle with the MAC-10, so he's gonna be able to capitalize on those kills strategically. Just really high end round here by Epsilon. Putting that just good use to the SMG, keeping all the expensive players there. Ooh, Saw takes off the head of Kraken. And so that's the opt-down, actually. So that puts a little bit of interesting situation here. They'll be able to pick it up. Yeah, Rez already has it. Zori has the MAC-10 in window room. Hides, gets a good peek on him, and even gets him down to 36 HP. But pretty much have to insta-give him, put 2 bullets in the head, I think, for that fight to play out the way you want to for the CT. And it didn't. So now we're going to go into this next round. Money bonus is at 3 rounds worth for LGR, so we're going to see another buy-up. Not a crazy amount of nades, though.
Not a crazy amount of name, and right now Zori is glass cannon, so no armor. So it should be interesting to see in what positions he actually puts himself in, because it's actually less forgiving when you don't have any armor with an op. But last round was perfect by Epsilon. I like that MAC-10 buy when the opposite team is saving, and right now that's what they did. Zealous got a good economy because of that, and it seems that the T's want to execute towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, they put some early pressure there, and actually the CTs came out on top, lots of early damage, and they're fully committing here. They actually got a kill in underpass with Zealous, or excuse me, from Catwalk, and he tries coming up, but 7 gets the kill. Freddy B answers back, so bomb site 1 by the terrorists. They're gonna get it down. Was it 1 player up at the B apartments, 1 in the site, 1 cat, and then 1 bench. The CTs are coming two from the market, 1 from Catwalk. Twista checking the back hat, making sure no shenanigans are happening. So he's got to win this fight with Disco, and Disco is one of the better duelists on Epsilon, so he's to come up on top. Spots him, actually throws a Molotov, so just really smart nade play there to just make it completely unenticing. I think if maybe he would have had a clear shot to go up Catwalk, the CTs might have gone for that retake, but just given the circumstances, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. The money's really low from the CTs, as we saw. They were barely even afford certain nades. So just good decision to get out of there, and all 3 surviving. I think a good round by LGR, but that's 4 in a row from Epsilon. So all of the gun rounds have gone in favor of them, which is, like we talked about a little bit with the Swedish play style, the caveat of, you know, you got to win your duels versus these guys unless they're just going to continue to no respect you.
Exactly, and I like what they did there. LGR didn't actually try to retake that. They saw that guy cutting up cat. They were waiting for him. If you got a pick, they were probably gonna actually try to retake. This how you wasn't able to get that pick. They're like, well, you know, guys, we're low on money to just save, try to drop our teammate next round and win that next round. Because right now we know that we need to get more rounds on that CT side.
Going into this round, it's going to be kind of a half-high, you know, with those 3 players that saved. They're going to try to do their best, and Epsilon going for a little bit of a surprise play here. Instead of going for, you know, spread out, get a kill, and then execute, it's more of just one simple pop flash, get kind of caught off guard, and it wasn't the case. LGR defended it beautifully. The op's coming into play. There's 2 on the board, so I'm pretty sure that one of those was picked up. I wasn't on top of all the kills.
It was.
Yeah, so good job. I mean, CTs, if you get gifted another op in that situation, it's just great. So Zelos looking around, playing a pretty cool angle on top of that firebox, but looks like they're kind of expecting it, and that's a great win for the CTs. That's going to help, you know, boost that economy. I mean, especially if you get 2 ops out of the situation, that's going to, like, doesn't matter if 2 players were pistoling, you'd probably still think you have a pretty decent defense with 2 ops, so it's going to be even better. There's going to be 4 mollies, 5 smokes, so this is the full strength CT defense, and they're primed to make a, you know, a stand here and try to answer to the Epsilon offense.
And that's why it was a smart move to actually save that last round, because they actually got in there with better utilities. Otherwise, it would have been full pistol, and that would have probably been an Epsilon round again. Instead, those are going to actually help them win that round. And right now, Epsilon needs to have an answer to that kind of play, because with double up, it won't be that easy.
And the answer they did, that they got that duel in mid, and Draken won that. So there's one of the ops down, so the defense significantly hindered, and looks like Disco Doppelin pushed up A-Halls, cleared it, and now Twista is in an interesting spot. You don't really see a CT push up all the way here. He's expecting it, and Doppelin, that's like a fight, you know, that's such a weird off angle that, like, coming out of that situation. So really cool play there by Twista, and CT's doing exactly what they need to win this round. The T's spread out, trying to look for those duels, and they lost them. So this is kind of the situation that you see these types of teams get in, where you're down a man, but there's still a decent amount of grenades, because you're kind of just, you know, seeing what the defense is giving to you, and when you spread out like that, you can kind of dwindle away the nade advantage that the CTs have, and we're kind of seeing that. And Zelos coming out huge, man. Oh man, he's already out. I think he ran past a Molotov and surprised them, and now Freddy B is going to get the bomb down, covered by Draken with the op, and Epsilon answers back. LGR super primed to have a really good, strong foothold, like on this round, but just the sheer fact that once that op middle goes away, and you kind of, you know, let the dust settle, and you make the CT sweat a little bit, and you have to kind of pick a rotation spot. And actually, I thought they did a good job of keeping 2 players at B, because that's obviously where they were going to head to. But Zelos just made the individual play to completely take away whatever that advantage was going to give you.
I could just mention, basically what happened, they killed a guy at mid, so window was open, they decided to do, we're going to play 2A and 2B, and while that was happening, Zelos actually creeped all the way through window to Market and flanked those guys at B.
Oh, that's what happened, okay.
And then when he told his teammate, oh, I'm in Market right now, the T's instantly went to B apps, and they're like, okay, we're going to wait for you to make a move. When he made his move, I mean, he killed those 2 guys, they got into B, planted a bomb, good post plan. The CTs were like, well, there's no way we can retake this, let's just save and try to drop our teammate for next round.
Yeah, just really back and forth match. I like what's going on. So going in, quick action at A. Disco just trying to do what he can, find out if maybe he can catch someone off guard. Again, they like to go for the, it's such a pain to deal with when you're playing on Mirage, and instead of like the typical A execute that you have to worry about, that just kind of run through the smoke, you know, those rounds kill me on the inside a little bit each time. So I could feel for the CTs there. Terrace did just that and came out on top, so it's 4-on-3. CT defense is split up completely. Sagerton had a good shot at getting that kill, but missed it, so now he's gonna have to back off as there's a Molotov in place of where he was. And Just more pressure here. Coming up the connector. Now 7 goes down. Rez follows up, and now it's Twista alone. They know exactly where he is, but they're continuing to try to push up into him, and kind of that solo mentality. And looks like Twista in a spot still. Rez gonna try to find a fight and spots him out, gets a good angle on him, but again, Epsilon, they love just splitting up. They have so much confidence in themselves.
Exactly, like you just said. I think it's confidence because right now, sometimes I'm actually wondering to myself if they're actually running a strat or if they're just running around and trying to outshoot their opponent. Because you always go one by one. So there's a guy that goes into A bomb side, kills one. It's like, okay, I think there's one more towards there. There's another Epsilon guy creeping in the smoke on the A bomb side, trying to kill that guy. That his teammate just mentioned the spot they was at. It doesn't seem like they're actually executing that many strategies on those default type of round.
And quick round here, they're on top of the money game. Freddy B putting pressure on them at A, so there is a stack from LGR at A, but they're already planted at B, and just because of the sheer fact that Freddy is shooting at them, there's no reason for them to move. And now the SMGs, who have been holding W this entire time, are now on the hunt, and there's an AK ready for the grasp and money to be made. So Disco Doppelin with more HP is going to push out, find Twista. Sagerton holding, and just the classic jump across the angle, burst Glock that guy in the face, and Epsilon is cruising here. And this is just that, you know, we see this played out a lot on CT, or in this dynamic where when the CTs struggle to gain rounds after that pistol round and it's just back and forth, you kind of wonder, like, maybe you need to do a little bit more, you know, get away from the normal stuff, like just putting 2 at each site and playing aggressive, or maybe they should have saved and get that off, you know, maybe double op.
I agree with you. I think that's what the CTs need to do right now. They need to make a change, and they try to go for a fast mid push. And I mean, right now it worked kind of well for Saw.
Yeah, going up mid, getting that early aggression, and now Epsilon kind of getting a taste of their own medicine here. Getting pushed up in the face. They're surprised this time around because it's just been quiet ever, you know, since the beginning. And now with that little change of pace, you get this advantage. It's 5-on-3 or 5-on-2, excuse me. One guy is at 12 HP, but they have him covered pretty well. Zuri and Saw playing together. And so they're gonna just play their base here. You're at a complete advantage. You can just turtle up and force them to come in. There's so much audio and information cues for you to work with. You don't really need to engage any fights. And they still find Freddy B trying to lurk up. Zelos with 100 HP and an op. 0 nades, picking up the bomb. 40 seconds to work with. It's a 1-on-5. It's gonna be a rough 40 seconds here if they start converging, and I mean 4 of them are full HP, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't try to hunt them. But in terms of strategy and like where the money situation is at for the CTs, all 5 alive I think might be a little bit more beneficial than an AWP. But they're still gonna poke around, and they're gonna pick the right spot to poke around mid. They find Zelos. He's in there. This guy only has 12, but great off angle. I love that spot in like death matches and stuff. But gets that kill, and LGR answers back, but now they've played that card. They've played that surprise, like we're pushing in this area, so kind of a tricky situation from a strat caller perspective. You know, what do you do this round after that? What do you think?
I think right now what they need to do is they need to stop letting Epsilon get a control of the map. They need to be like, let's keep pushing. You get control of the mid. Don't let them get the control of the mid because it's a really important spot. So far, it's actually one of the reasons why we're losing so many rounds because they get mid control. They kill our guy in window. They go up connector. They execute towards B. They boost the guy in window. So right now they just need. I feel they should converge towards mid a bit more. But it seems like they kind of went back to their default setup where they play 2B and 3 towards A, and it might actually just screw them again this round.
Yeah. Epsilon did a great counter strat. You know, you saw the aggression, and you answer it back with 2 going underpass, 2 back cat, and then once you gain control, it's like it's again Zelos in that action spot to make plays, getting boosted up, flanking, getting an easy free kill, and then it just collapses after that. It's so hard to anticipate that, especially just with how, you know, they didn't have a third guy watching through like the vent or something at from CT spawn. So it's played out to a one on three, and Draken gets that last kill. And I just think Epsilon are really winning the strategic game in this game. Even though you know, judging by their play style, they play kind of simple Counter-Strike. There's not a lot of crazy smokes and like, ooh, like he spent, you know, 5,000 hours in an offline server trying to find this stuff. It's more just like really smart decisions on placing everyone based off of what the CTs have been giving them, and they've been anticipating them like really well so far. And now it's going to be a push. LGR full save pretty much, except, you know, 5.7s, no armor or anything, so they'll be able to get something next round. And you know, doing pretty good, pretty okay job. They've gotten 1 kill. 7 has an AK. He's looking around, but Epsilon are booking it. Bombs down in T spawn. They were in their spread out formation, so those players that were on that B side, Rez pushing up, seeing what he can find, because, you know, I think they just did a good job of thinking that the CTs are gonna be stacked after they saw that initial, you know, presence there. It's a good gamble to just push up and just assume maybe that there's one guy there, you know, just based off of that decision making. What do you think about, you know, what
Like
what
you
are
just
your
said.
yeah, what are your thoughts on just what the CTs have done so far?
I mean, you take a gamble, right? So it's an eco, you're like, well, they like to go towards A a bit, so let's just stack towards A. But what happened when Freddy died, there was actually 4 CTs peeking him. So that res guy just ran into B straight off the bat, took control of the market, that way he could cut off the rotate, and he's like, okay, well, B-bomb side is open if you guys want to come in, it's clear.
Yeah, just really good job of just finding the holes of just whatever the defense can give them. So we're going into a further round. Rez has pushed up all the way at B. He's at such a really hard spot to deal with the CTs. And with Freddy B coming in from Cat, spotting 7. 7 can't find anything. Sagerton's at that get right spot. Doesn't get the clean kill, and that allows Rez to jump down, be able to fight properly, and my game just crashed. So can you take it over from there while I get back in?
Yes, so right now we see Saw actually trying to retake that bomb site. He knows there's one guy at bench, the other guy is coming towards mid, got the kill on Zello, so it's probably going to be a Cat and Market retake, and it's going to be a 2v2. But right now I feel like Twista is going to still go in because it's the last round, but he cannot do anything because Draken is posted up in the apps with an op, and it's an easy frag. So we're going to be looking at a 10-5 half on the Epsilon side, switching to CT, and it's going to be pretty fast ready up. I'm assuming we should see Epsilon win that pistol and then take it from there. We should be looking at a 16-8 type of match, unless LGR has some nice pistol in the bag and are able to surprise us with something pretty good. But so far it seems like Epsilon aim is on point. They seems to be a lot more confident than the LGR side. And right now, if I would be LGR, I mean, they need to come out with something really big. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at a really hard T side on their part.
Yeah, so let's kind of look and just see what's being bought here. Zuri got a Tech 9 nade. So there's 2 smokes going down. They're heading towards A, so it's going to be like a light execute. We normally see this. Let's kind of look at the positioning. They have 3 players towards here, and there's 2 pushing the ramp. There's only 2 terrorists here for that. So they hear the smokes going down, and then it's just easy. Let's push out. Zelos in a great spot, and this is just counter strat to the max. I mean, we can talk about how good Epsilon is individually, but I mean, anticipating an A execute like that, the perfect setup basically to push right when those players, you know, the two support grenaders throwing their smokes over the wall. They hear, you know, when you throw a grenade, you can hear the grenade leaving your hands. So it's just an easy, like, oh, they're on a global cooldown, so to speak. Like, they can't fight for like a split second. That's an easy decision to let go, walk, try to get that fight, and just capitalize on it completely.
Exactly, and that's what they did. And I feel like Epsilon just did the homework there. I don't know if it was anti-stratting them or if it's actually a common strat that LGR is running, or if it's actually the normal setup, but it seems like they were actually anti-stratting them and they already expected them to be doing an A hit.
Yeah, just really well executed. So we're in this anti-eco. CT's playing pretty aggressive. Terrorists looking to get what they can. They're invested pretty decently in this round. I mean, they still have about, each about over $500 or more, or excuse me, $700 or more on everyone. So pretty decently invested. They got one kill, and all they got really out of it was an ump, and now they got Zelos, which is another player mid. So looking at the CT's positioning, Rez pushed up here. Twisted, this is gonna be a hard angle for Twisted to clear, and Rez just takes him off immediately. 7, getting a little bit of the chills there, not peeking immediately, lets Rez reset, and easy second kill for him. Sagerton looking up catwalk, see if he can find something, and he has an eagle, finds Doppler, just really nice angle actually right there to find that kill. So Sagerton actually has 3 this round so far, but there's only 30 seconds left. The CTs have a set perimeter already around the bomb, and judging by the positioning, he's going to save the gun, which is just good decision. I mean, you got 3 kills with the deagle, it's 300 each, so even if you died, it's not like you would be at that big of a deficit if you just save and get away with this gun. You could still, I mean, knowing that he's gonna have 1600 the next round, if they just chose to force buy that, they can at least get head armor with it. And another round for Epsilon. Looks like they're cruising along here still.
I feel it was a smart move on Segerton because he did, I mean, an insane amount of damage on that Epsilon side because he killed 3 guys right now. Their money's not looking that great. Either they're gonna force SMGs or they're actually gonna get drops here and there. But it's a good move, and now he just keeps that Famous might be able to do a little bit more damage with it. I mean, I don't disagree with that move. I feel like Epsilon played that a little bit sloppy at the end, trying to get that like chasing Sigerton to get the frag.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty throwaway round here. Epsilon doing their same stuff, aggressive CT side. If you're not going to come run into my screen, I'm going to run into your screen mentality, and doing a great job just winning all the fights. Zelos getting one, everyone else pretty much just holding the line. But again, there wasn't that much opposition in terms of equipment value. So now we're going in. This is the first ground round. Here's what LGR makes their stand, and they are literally at $0 across the board. So they are committed as much as possible, and looks like they're going towards A. What kind of execute would you want to do in this situation if you were strat calling?
I think it would be the typical execute. You smoke CT, you smoke the stairs, you try to smoke the jungle, and then you just straight up plow into the A bomb site. Maybe try to get and push towards CT to get a CT control. Otherwise, just plant for A main, and actually like retreat back, get good post plant, and from there just play the game with your upper probably towards the A main area, so that way you can cut off the people rotating from jungle and stairs and trying to cross into the A bomb site. That's what I would try to do. But it seems like they might actually try to go back towards B or do a B fake or a mid split. There's 2 guys walking towards mid or B right now.
Yeah, maybe they were. I don't know what the thought behind that would have been. Maybe they were just primed with Zori. Maybe he gets an early op kill and then they could just flood out. But since he got kind of denied and clearly took 60 damage from something, so they're gonna back off a little bit. They're gonna put one guy mid, one guy towards B, and now that guy B is actually starting to shoot around Saw just a little bit to gain a little, at least some sort of audio information that they're towards there, so that the CTs have to honor something. And looks like they are. They're gonna keep 2 players there. The Swedes are just gonna keep their rotate, no guessing. 30 seconds, we get a full Na'Vi round in effect. Oh, excuse me. Smoke's going down, and looks like the execute coming in. Freddy B in that sandwich area, and then Doppler underneath the balcony. Let's see how they play it out. Sagerton gets that first kill. Freddy B with the follow-up. Nice, just tracking with that audio. Here's that guy jumping across and is able to pull that kill off. And ooh, bomb plant denied, and right there, smoke. The lack of smoke at CT spawn pretty much lost them the round, and well, actually, they really lost just about every duel except for those original ones. So, good job, I think, by both teams. I mean, I like the positioning by everyone. No one really pushed the envelope, so they were kind of both playing for the let's see if they play into us kind of deal, and that kind of results into a 30 seconds left, get an execute in, and then not much to work with.
Exactly. What I don't like about those late round execute is because it lets the CT set up so nicely, especially if you don't really fake anywhere. and it's actually like they just anticipated them to come towards A. That guy under back having a crossfire with whoever's sandwich, like it's a good position to be in. And if you're T's, you need to actually try to molly one of those spots. So either you molly under back or you molly sandwich, or you molly both if you can. But if you don't molly any of those spots, then it gets it really hard for the T's to actually take that bomb site.
Yeah, agreed. So going into this next round, it's 14-5. The pressure's on. As LGR clearly do not want to play for the tie, so they bought up, try to see if they can do anything, and Epsilon came out on top with all the fights that happened across the map. 4-on-3. LGR is grouped up in mid, and Freddy B getting that kill, and I think we're seeing a little bit of tilt here. They're not very synchronized in terms of like peeking together. And 7 getting that kill, just trying to run up, see if he can find something. And I mean, I saw him have a decent amount of grenades, and just in that situation, I think they, you kind of see some teams do this when you're at such a big deficit. You kind of play a little bit half-assed, and like just this is a best-of-3 series, so they know that they have another map to play afterwards. Having that in the back of their mind, they're trying to go for some sort of hero play, and it didn't pay out because Epsilon is more skilled than them, I think, across the board.
And I get it's a problem, like you just said, when a team is more skilled than you, and you try to go and do those hero plays, it actually doesn't work that well.
Yeah, it's just a bad strategy in terms of maximizing what your players can do and not do. If you're kind of at a skill deficit, you can do executes and stuff and make up for that skill because you'll isolate and create just more favorable situations for yourself. But we're not really seeing that. LGR just going mid, putting a lot of pressure there, and then 7 does the best he can to try to get a kill, and he does just that. So he's caused a rotate to come through, almost takes down Draken, 2 players towards B, but that's pretty much it. So Sagerton is actually doubling back, and with all that commotion at B, Freddy B pushes up and gets the early information, actually catches the bomb with his knife out. So this is pretty much game over here. 2-on-3. Draken is still barely alive, and he's anticipating someone on Cat still. And Zuri actually shows his shoulder, gets the op shot out, and then Doppelin follows it up, so they knew that guy was Cat, and the middle guy just looks over to the left a little bit. Easy said and done. So Saw, he's in T-spawn. He's actually going to roll up on Freddy B, who's actually in a really weird angle. And kind of an awkward fight there, but Epsilon takes it 16-5. Closing thoughts?
I mean, I have nothing to say about this. Epsilon just played that map well on T side, and they came to CT side. LGR didn't have any answer to Epsilon actually set up. They tried to run a little bit of strategies. It didn't really work. I feel like I would have liked to see LGR coming out with better executes, but their money was not that great since they lost pistols, so didn't really have that many rounds to work with. And at some point, like you said, when you're so down, like it's 14-5, you're like, well, we need to try to do something. And sometimes that answer is not, let's try to run and execute. Let's just try to run at them, frag them. Like, we might be able to compete with them aim-wise and try to do kind of what Epsilon did to us on their T side. And then when they tried to do that, it didn't work. And what I liked about Epsilon that LGR didn't do on Mirage is on CT side, Epsilon always kept that window control. And LGR didn't do that. They always kind of rotated that window guy, left it open, so it actually gave space to Epsilon to go into the window and make plays on the A under B or the B bomb site. But LGR didn't try that under T side, get into the window at all. And the reason is Epsilon was playing it. And I feel like the CT side was Epsilon was just great.
Yeah, I agreed. So we're going in this next map. It's going to be Dust 2. This is a best of 3. This is the RGN Pro Series close qualifier for Europe, and we have Epsilon and LGR here. So players are gonna take a quick break. Let's take a quick break and stick with us, guys. We'll be right back.